Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is I don't know why I do that. My name is Theodosia, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm sure you're in the right place. If you are not new here, thank you for coming back. Today we're going to be discussing about to gain admission or get admission in a school in Mauritius. If you think this video is for you, make sure you stick around. And let's get right into this video. So before we start, I am trying to get this video to about 100 likes. If this video isn't up to that, please make sure you hit the like button, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, make sure you put a comment in the comment section, and as always, I would always be in the comment section to reply your comments. As always, I have taken my time to give you guys a descriptive video, so I have everything in my phone. So the first thing on the list is to find a school. It is as simple as that, right? Just go to google.com and search for schools in Mauritius. If you are looking for MBA, if you are looking for MSc, postgraduate, undergraduate, there are loads of schools in Mauritius that would cater to your needs. Okay, so now you have to match the degree that you want with your duration. So some schools may offer, let's say, an MBA for 18 months. Maybe you don't want to do an MBA for 18 months. And some schools may offer an MBA for 12 months. Okay, so that would now be a determinant factor of why you would want to choose a school. The third thing on my list would be to check the location of the school. It's really funny because some schools, definitely all the schools in Mauritius are not located in one place. But if you would want to get a school, you want to know if the school is located at the center of Mauritius, if you'll be able to get basic amenities around there, if where you get a house, it will be easy for you to commute from your house to the school conveniently without problems. If the school has, let's say, lots of students living, you would just want to know basic information about where the school is located. And so, say for example, there are some schools in Mauritius that are not close by the beach. I know that's not a reason for picking a school, but you would still want to know those things. So if it's a little bit outskirt, because at the end of the day, you are not only just coming to study, you are coming to enjoy. Because what is a little enjoyment without studying? The most important thing will be to check the payment plan or the school fees. So most schools will have a payment plan, let's say, for the duration of your course, and it may be really expensive, it may be really affordable. Depending on what you have at the moment in your bank account, you would want to pick a school. You wouldn't want to pick a school where after you gain admission, you would not be able to pay for the school fees. So you would want something realistic for you at the moment. And it is so beautiful because a lot of schools these days, in as much as the fees are expensive, we know that, okay, you're an international student, they make their payment plans flexible, so you wouldn't have to pay your fees at once. Some schools, most schools actually, you wouldn't need to pay your fees at once. You would have to pay in bits. So yeah, make sure you check the payment plans. I know for a fact that not all schools have their payment plans available on the websites. So you would need to contact the school directly to have a payment plan or have an idea of what that is. The fifth thing on my list is to contact the school. But yeah, you've already contacted the school, you know, for a payment plan or for something else. I've been getting a lot of messages from people who have messaged schools, and within 2 or 3 days they haven't gotten a response. Well, yes, because you're not the only person trying to gain admission. I'm sure they will have backlogs of emails and phone calls they would need to attend to. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but most times during peak periods where, you know, they are trying to bring in new students and there's a new session, it gets really tied up and bulky. So the best advice I would give to you is, if you would want to enroll or you were seeking for admission, you should seek for it when they're actually looking for students. They would reply you ASAP. Okay, so do that during that period and not when they have just gotten a new intake, because they will be trying to settle the new intake as well as get, you know, proper documentation and things like that. Let's say bringing students, getting them fixed up, filling forms, things like that. So it would take time for them to reply your mail as to when they're actually looking for students. Although that's not an excuse, like I said earlier, you would also want to get contact on the school. I'm sure the contact of the school will be on the school website. Make sure you know, give the school a phone call and revert back to your email that you have sent. So now, if you have done all of this and then you feel like the school is what you want, then you can go ahead and fill the admission form. One thing I would say is, it's not just the school and it's not just the school fees and the location. Another thing that will be important for me, or that was important for me when I was trying to look for a school, is what kind of degree would I be getting? Would I be getting just an international degree? Will I just be getting an African degree? Will I be getting a UK degree? What would I be able to use that degree with? Where would I be able to use that degree? If I go to a certain country, would my degree be valid? You wouldn't want to pay thousands and thousands of dollars or whatever currency, because I know some schools pay pounds here, some schools would require to pay in dollars. Some schools will also ask you to pay the equivalent of it in rupees, Mauritian rupees. But at the end of the day, you would also want to make sure that you are getting your money's worth. So you wouldn't want to travel to another country and then they tell you that your degree is basically useless and it's not valid. So that is a very important one. And how do you know that? You would be able to get information on checking what kind of degree, where is the school from. So not all schools in Mauritius are Mauritian schools, they are international schools. So you have some UK schools, some American schools, and things like that. So you would want to know, okay, I'm getting an American degree, I'm getting a German degree, I'm getting a UK degree. What will I be able to use that degree with? Those are the questions you should be asking yourself. This is something I want to talk about, and it has been brought to my notice that some certain people in Nigeria and then in some other countries are basically extorting students, or basically extorting people who want to come here to study. And it's very sickening. I've been trying to shy away from talking about this, but I mean, what use would it be for you to extort somebody else? I mean, information is free, the internet is free, so you can as well just Google instead of taking the word of, you know, an agent, so to say. So if the agent says you will need to pay XYZ amount, try and confirm before you make payment. I beg you, because there are a lot of messages that I have gotten with receipts saying people need to pay an XYZ amount, outrageous amounts, just so that they can secure an admission. And this is very easy. In Mauritius, you don't necessarily need to go through an agent. You can do it on, like, I got my admission on my own. I didn't go through an agent, and I know so many people who didn't go through an agent. But if you feel you cannot go through that process, make sure you validate your agent. Ask questions. I mean, that's why I'm doing this video. Ask questions and you will get your answer. Don't just take somebody's word for it because the person seems knowledgeable about it basically. So even my video, make sure you do your research after watching this video. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the following documents, or some of the documents, some of the key documents you would need after you have filled your admission form and all of that. So obviously you would need your international passport, very, very key. So you would need to send them your data page. You would need your previous degree or qualifications. If it's BSc, you would need to send your BSc. If it's for masters, you would need to send your secondary school leaving certificate. I know for Nigerians it's WAEC or NECO, so you would need to send that. Nigeria is an English speaking country, so most of us do not need to do an English test, but for others who don't come from English speaking countries, they would need to send an English test certification to verify that they know how to speak English. You will need to send in your birth certificate to verify your age. I don't think there is an age limit on education, but they would also want to know your age. They would also want to know if you're underage as well. So there is that. I'm sure if you don't have your birth certificate, you'll be able to get an affidavit for that. You would need your bank statement. Now, I have seen where agents would ask you to bring $25,000 for bank statements and things like that. It is ridiculously outrageous. If you even convert $25,000, is you would know that it doesn't make sense. But the bank statement required by most schools is about 1 million or 1.2 million naira. I'm going to leave the equivalent of dollars on the screen because I don't know what it is right now, because dollar do get us it shifts sometimes, but yes, as a Nigerian it's 1.2 max million naira, and you would want to have that in your account for a while before you do your bank statement. You would want to do medical, so the schools would require you to do medicals in your country. Medicals are malaria tests for Nigeria because Nigeria is malaria prone. Hepatitis B, HIV, you would also want to do like a chest x-ray. Because of COVID, you would also need to send in, you would also be required to send a digital copy of your COVID vaccine. And as far as I know right now, it's not a complete requirement. If you've done your vaccine, yes, you can send. If you've not done your vaccine, I mean, when you come to Mauritius, you might be required to take your vaccine. So schools do not require you to send in your physical copy of your vaccine card. There is nowhere, because you only have one vaccine card. Nobody charges you for that. When you're sending your documents, you send your vaccination card electronically. You are not DHLing it to anybody. I actually need to note that out. Some schools will require you to write an undertaking letter as a student, saying you are a good student, you are this, you are that, you have good behavior, this is why you want to join the school, this is what you think you need to achieve, and things like that. So it's basically like you are writing a cover letter. Some schools will require you to would require your sponsor to write a letter stating that they are responsible for your needs and they will be catering to your needs in Mauritius. So if there's any problem, they do contact them. Okay, so obviously your sponsor would also still be the same person who would provide the bank statement, since they are going to be catering to your needs or for your needs, or paying for your school fees in Mauritius. Most schools would require you as a student to have an air return ticket, and they wouldn't want you to have difficulties going back to your country whenever you need to go back. They wouldn't want you to stay in the country maybe without any guide, without any need, or without any help in the country after your studies. So most times your return ticket is like exactly a year when you came. If you are a student who maybe you're studying for like next 2 or 3 years, you could decide to extend your air ticket, you could decide to go back and come back, whichever one you decide. Your bank statement, it should just be able to show that your sponsor or whoever is paying your school fees, could be you, would have that amount in your account as of the time you are seeking for admission or coming into the country. Okay, so it's as simple as that. The school would also send you their requirements when you are applying, when you are filled the form. And then most schools, when you're seeking for an admission, would give you a conditional offer, and the conditional offer would state you to pay an XYZ amount of fees, would require you to send in your documentation for verification, and when you have paid your fees, you will be able to get an unconditional offer stating that you've been able to get an admission offer, you know. And when you get that, they will be able to process your admission. When you've paid, you'll be able to get your student visa. Once you've gotten your student visa, you should be able to, you know, fly into the country without any problems. I wouldn't recommend you coming into the country to gain an admission. It actually doesn't make any sense, because if you come in as a tourist and then you gain admission, you might be required to leave the country to come back on your student visa. I hope that's clear. If you have any questions, please make sure you put your questions in the comment section. I am always in the comment section. I would be replying your comments. Make sure you share this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And as always, my name is Theodosia, and I will be seeing you guys in my next video. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do subscribe. Think for thanks.